Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So the Democrats are deluding themselves yet again into believing that they have a shot to reclaim the United States Senate. And I'm going to explain why in this video. It's very unlikely despite their top new recruits. They're nabbing them or they're trying to get them. And if anything, they're hurting themselves because some of these people might actually stand a chance if they wanted to go for governor. But they're not doing that. They are running for Senate. And as a result, they are very likely to waste resources on races that they really don't have much of a chance to win, instead of really trying to hone in and focus on, putting a pathway together for them to get to like 49, finding the strongest candidate in Maine, which is a complete mess for them. It's not really working out so far. So Ohio, you have the Democrats recruiting Sherrod Brown, who recently lost. Democrats somehow believed that he even stood a chance running with Donald Trump on the ballot of all people, and that was not going to happen. And on top of it, they also are recruiting in the state of Alaska, which voted for Trump by 14 percentage points, Mary Peltola, who still ended up losing by a decent margin in 2024. They're trying to get her to run for Senate against a longtime Republican incumbent who is almost certainly going to win. So what do we exactly make of this? Do they have a chance or are they delusional? We're going to dive into this a little bit further after I tell you guys about our great friends over at Chalk. Our country just witnessed Donald Trump overcome political persecution, an assassination attempt, and the entire deep state to retake the presidency with a historic victory. And one secret ingredient allowed him to do it, and it's called testosterone. And what most people don't realize is that testosterone makes men willing and eager to take on challenges. Sadly, too many men have lost their fight, and that's exactly how the globalists want it. They want us weak, out of shape, and full of estrogen and microplastics with low T, which is why we're excited to partner with Chalk. They offer a whole line of products formulated to increase your energy, focus, detoxify your body, and clinically studied boost testosterone. Ingredients in the Chalk Male Vitality Stack have been clinically studied to boost free testosterone in 87% in just 21 days. Unlike with gimmicky vegetable pills or powder, you will feel the difference, and they have the clinical studies to back it up. And right now you can get 25% off your Chalk subscription, not just one time, but for life. So go to chalk.com, spelled CHOQ.com, and use the promo code REDEAGLE. That's 25% off any subscription for life, and you can cancel it at any time. All right, guys, so for the Democrats to get a majority, they're going to have to get 51 seats. So it's not even going to be enough for them to get to 50 because they don't have the vice president. J.D. Vance is going to be the one breaking the tie. So their pathway to retake the Senate is virtually impossible. They are going to have to go out there and then hold and defend several key seats, like New Hampshire, which voted for Kamala Harris by 3. Republicans are surging in the registration data there. It's an open seat, and Republicans have nabbed their star recruit candidate. Now, do I think Republicans are going to win New Hampshire? I don't think they're favored, but they can, and Democrats can't sleep at the wheel in New Hampshire, or they very may well fall short. And in the state of Georgia, Georgia's a state that voted for Donald Trump by 2 points. It has been moving to the left, but in midterm years, Republicans tend to benefit from the propensity difference, the dynamic that takes place there. You have an incumbent who won on a fluke. Republicans definitely need to unite behind a candidate in order to win the state of Georgia sooner than later, or that will put them at a disadvantage. But it's going to be a very competitive race regardless. I would not expect Jon Ossoff to win the state of Georgia by more than like 2 points. It could go to a runoff again. It could end up going Republican, even in round one, if the Republicans have a good night. So they need to focus on those states, just holding them. And also Michigan, an open seat. State voted for Trump by 1.5%. It is a state where Democrats would be expected to benefit from this propensity dynamic, but they have a super divided primary. You have a strong Republican candidate that would be facing off against one of three weak Democrat candidates. Seem like the weaker ones are actually closer to being favored. And again, there could be another massive revolt in Dearborn if Abdul El-Sayed is not the nominee in the state of Michigan. Also, Maine, they're going to have to flip Maine, which is Harris +7. Collins is somebody that always wins, could benefit even from the propensity dynamic. You could make the case because those, college-educated independents, they like her. They don't like Trump, but they like her. Even if she votes with Trump a majority of the time, it's still going to be hard for Democrats to flip Maine because they're not really nabbing a recruit there. Doesn't seem like anyone wants to go against Collins, either because they have strong ties with her. A lot of Democrats tend to like her in the state. She gets along with both sides of the political aisle, which kind of keeps some opponents at bay, like Jared Golden, for example. But also, if you think about it, it's like they don't really have anybody else that's strong that wants to run, and Collins always has an ability to win and be resilient. So North Carolina is a Trump +3 state. Democrats did get their top recruit. It didn't look like they would, but Republicans very likely are getting an upgrade, not just in terms of how they would vote in the Senate, in Michael Whatley over Tom Tillis, but also electability, because Tom Tillis at that stage in the game was becoming an electoral liability. I do believe he would lose to Roy Cooper if he were to run for re-election. Then you have Ohio, which is a Trump +11 state, and you have a very, entrenched incumbent, not entrenched as they've been there for a while, because he's only been there for like 5-6 months, but entrenched because he is a major political player in the state. Everybody really knows the guy, and independents are not like off-put by him in any way. In a midterm electorate especially, he's a good fit for the state, and he'll get Trump's base out because he is voting for Trump's agenda. So, he's kind of got both sides working for him in his benefit. And then also they need to flip Texas, Iowa, or Alaska as well to get there. Texas is Trump +14. I don't think there's any snowball's chance in hell. Even if Ken Paxton's the nominee with the new scandal, I still think he'd win by like 5 over Colin Allred. As for Iowa, it's Trump +13. It's a little bit more elastic, but it's unlikely Democrats are going to be able to win the state because the Democrats in Iowa have kind of just been collapsing. Their strongest candidate's running for governor. He's still probably going to end up losing. I'm not a fan of Joni Ernst, but she should have no problem winning by, upper single digits or so the way the state is going. So that's what Democrats need to do to flip the Senate. They think they can, which is why they're recruiting Sherrod Brown. They're recruiting Mary Peltola. She might have a chance in the governor's race if she focuses on local issues, but against Dan Sullivan, she's going to probably lose by upper single digits. Sherrod Brown is probably going to lose by upper single digits. Whether it's a Trump midterm or a non-Trump midterm, you have John Husted, who's a strong candidate that'd be facing somebody who already lost, and that adds baggage to you. Maybe not as much, but it's like, do you think Brown is going to win over any voters who voted for Bernie Moreno in 2024? I don't think he is. Obviously, you could bank on turnout being lower or different, but again, I think Husted would win more independents at this point. He also has the incumbency advantage, and Ohio just keeps zooming to the right. The last time a senator lost re-election, came back 2 years later to win, was 1988. And now Tim Ryan might run for governor. He's damaged goods at this point. I think Vivek Ramaswamy would probably beat him. I think Sherrod Brown might stand a chance if he ran a solid campaign, but it seems like Democrats in Ohio are just trying to go after something they're not really going to be able to get, because this is what Democrats have to do to win the Senate. Win a state Trump won by 14, another state that Donald Trump won by 14, compete or win a state Trump won by like 11 or 12 in Ohio. And then North Carolina, they'd have to win. They'd have to win in Georgia. They'd have to win Michigan, New Hampshire, and Maine, which again is a blue state, but Susan Collins is Susan Collins. Polarization, I think, would catch up if Maine wasn't Maine. Maine is a very unique state in that regard, where polarization will play a role. It could, I think it's going to be within like 5, but I don't think that it's going to be an election that Collins is really going to lose. And I think people don't really want to run if they know she's going to end up beating whatever, Democrat. So looking at the map here, just for further, visualization of the Democrats' problem, let's say that Republicans win all those states that even Democrats aren't targeting. They're already at 46. Even with Peltola, Sullivan probably ends up beating Peltola by over 5 points, because this is a nationalized race. If you want to look at the House race back in 2024 here, Bajich, he won. He won, and he was controversial, and she was an incumbent. So if she couldn't even win that election against somebody who came in 3rd place the previous year, it's very unlikely that she would be able to go out there and knock off Sullivan. So Texas, I think, still stays red, even with Paxton. Florida, we forgot about Florida, so that would mean 47 already in the safe column. So they'd be at 49. And it's very likely Republicans win in Iowa. I think Ohio still is likely R. So that would put the Republicans at 51, plus Collins probably wins. They're at 52. Now the Democrats will give them these states in the safe column, even New Jersey, because Cory Booker does tend to be a strong incumbent, it seems, although the more he grandstands at the federal level, he'll weaken his margin of victory. So in the safe column for the Democrats, they're at 41. Now they will win New Mexico, Minnesota, and Virginia most likely, depending on the nominee. Minnesota could be a little closer. It's an open seat. New Hampshire, I think they're favored. Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia, those are the 3 toss-ups. And the Democrats are in a really tough position because they're trying to go after states that they know that they probably are going to lose because they don't have a pathway in the Senate. That's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to raise money. They're already short for cash. It's really tough for them, the position that they're in ahead of the midterms. Even if they retake the House, even if they perform well in the swing areas, in the swing races, it's still an underperformance. They're not retaking the Senate. There's really no path for them, in my opinion, to do so for a very long time, unless they sweep the toss-up races and then add Maine and then do it again in 28 and then do it again in 2030. It's just not likely. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.